Thank you, Wanda. And I'd like to echo what Wanda had to say earlier. Thank you all really for showing up and supporting these types of presentations. You know, it's not that easy months in advance to figure out what's going to attract 40, 50, or 60 folks when they have so many other things to do with this boat show. But you know, we try to sometimes stretch the envelope and bring you things that you may not be literally in front of you on a daily basis. And today is one of those days where we've decided to take a risk and have a presentation on something you may not really be familiar with. You know, a few days ago, I went to see the new Robert Redford film, All Is Lost. It was released just last week, and I saw it the first day it came out. And if you haven't seen it, you really should. Who's seen the movie yet? I'm the only one? Okay, well, if you're not familiar with the storyline, it's about a lone sailor out in the middle of the ocean and his desperate quest to survive a mishap at sea. There's no sex, no murders. It's 100 minutes long, and there is, maybe with an exaggeration, 20 words of dialogue. Quite frankly, it must have taken a leap of faith for the backers of this film to put their hard, cold cash behind its production and release. That said, the critics at Rotten Tomatoes have given it a 94% rating, and most of the reviewers that I've seen have given it a 4 stars, hailing it as a capstone to Robert Redford's career. Why the accolades? Because it's a great retelling of the classic tale of man against the sea. Does it make sailing look dangerous? I bet it does. It's scary. But you know what? Millions of people around the world are going to see this film, and many will be inspired to go sailing, maybe even buy a sailboat, even though the film does not portray sailing as the graceful recreation we all like to think it is. You know, the same is true when it comes to reality TV. I don't know why it's called reality TV, it's beyond me. In many cases, it's anything but reality. But the fact is that millions of Americans watch water-related reality shows such as The Deadliest Catch, Wicked Tuna, Duck Dynasty, Shipwrecked Men, and BelowDeck, and are inspired to get involved in those lifestyles. And while I'm on the subject of BelowDeck, I'd like to introduce the Chief Stewardess of BelowDeck, Adrienne. Adrienne, will you say hello? Stand up. You know, to grow boating, the recreational boating industry needs to do a better job of being aspirational, of getting consumers who have so many more choices today to connect with various lifestyles. To do, you know, boating offers everything from waveboarding to yachting and everything in between. And we're fortunate today to have with us Julie Perry. She's been at the nexus between the consumer and the marine industry, literally, for her entire career. She's been an author, a webcast anchor, and a digital media executive. She's got some great insights into what can be done to bring boaters and the marine industry together. So please join me in welcoming Julie Perry.
Okay, marketing opportunities with reality TV. How many boat writers do we have in the room that come more from the writing side? Okay, I'm also going to touch on some things that are great and applicable to writers. So everyone else, I'm assuming, is a marketer of some sort with an agency or on your own. Now, how many of the marketers in the room have really big advertising budgets? Oh yeah, really? That's kind of a trick question, because the answer is nobody really has. With so many areas to spend our marketing dollars these days, does anyone really have a large advertising budget? There's so many areas, so many different components now that we have to consider in our marketing campaigns. And so one of the things that I wanted to explore today, and I have a ton of content, so forgive me in advance for talking really fast, but I want to try to get through a lot of content, again, so we can also address everyone in the room. And I have a tendency to think of things as I'm going along and go off on tangents, so I apologize in advance for that too. Easily distractible. Squirrel! Oh God, I thought I'd get everyone. The timing was bad. But I do tend to do that. But we're going to start off by talking about and exploring this concept of reality TV as a marketing vehicle, and are we really considering all of the opportunities that exist? I don't want to debate the merits of shows like BelowDeck because I know it caused a little bit of a controversy when it first got announced in the boating world. But that's not really what we're going to talk about today. This conversation about exploring this in today's talk, Michael and I, when I called him to let him know that the second edition of my book about how to become yacht crew was coming out, I mentioned to him that Adrienne Gang and I had joined forces before the show came out, and Adrienne had written the foreword to my book. And he was so intrigued by that, and we got talking about it, and I guess it was obvious that since I have a book about how to become yacht crew, it made sense that I would want to take advantage of this opportunity. But I said to him, I was really surprised that more people in the marine industry weren't trying to take advantage of it, because in my mind, and I guess this goes back to my days with the Boaters TV, when you're online and you're trying to get people's attention, you're always looking for opportunities and where target audiences are hanging out and talking. And it seems to me, like Michael pointed out, that when you've got a topic with boats and people having fun and on the water and in tropical destinations, people are thinking boating, and there's no better time to tap into them when they're in that mindset. So it's going to start off, we're going to talk about how many people saw BelowDeck, by the way. Watch, okay. For those of you that didn't, or you may be familiar, it's a show that followed the group of crew members living and working aboard the 164-foot mega yacht Honor, which those of us in the industry know was really the Coeur d'Leon, and those of us in the industry a long time also once knew that as Lionheart. It's a Benetti. I was there actually the day it launched. Season 1 ran on Monday nights, 10 to 11 on Bravo TV. The premiere aired on July 1st, and it ran through September 9th. They also, because of the show's success, added 2 additional episodes, one being a crew tells all that wasn't planned in the beginning, and another was a reunion show. So really, ultimately, there were 11 episodes. The premiere episode on July 1st, 1.1 million viewers, and then delivery grew every week, so that by the finale, that 9th episode, 1.8 million viewers. And on average, for the entire season, it was 1.4 million viewers. So this really attracted a lot of attention. People liked it. And the 18 to 49 market, which is sort of the holy grail, I guess, for advertisers, 809,000 viewers. And it was renewed for a second season. We don't yet know who's coming back. Adrienne is still waiting to find out. But I know they had a casting call, and I guess they're considering all possibilities, so we're still waiting to hear. But we're thinking, and rumor has it, they will start filming in January of 2014. So we're going to be talking about today, though, even beyond BelowDeck, why reality TV to begin with? Why reality TV as a marketing vehicle? What other shows exist? Michael touched on a few. And then how your marketing campaigns and your writing and pitching stories to publications can use reality TV shows as a vehicle, taking advantage of both inbound and outbound marketing opportunities. And I am going to go over, because I know when I say that, sometimes I see people's eyes glaze over, what I mean by inbound and outbound marketing opportunities. That includes paid advertising via broadcast. I know none of us have those really mega large, we're not Coca-Cola, wanting to throw ads up on cable television, but some might be able to, or some may have clients that can. There are other, though, paid opportunities in the digital media space, so I'm going to touch on those. And then we'll talk about more inbound, so content marketing, and this is where our writers really become very valuable. I love it that the marketers and the writers are having a joint luncheon together, because really business cards need to be being exchanged, because anymore, for those of you that are familiar with the trends in content marketing, writers are more valuable than ever before for getting attention online, especially in the digital space. So, why reality TV? When did reality TV, what was the first reality TV show in existence? Who really knows what it was? I remember watching Candid Camera as a kid, but a lot of the history online will tell you that there was a show. Does anyone remember 1973, An American Family? It followed the Loud family as the parents were going through a divorce. The eldest son, Lance, came out of the closet as a homosexual. I mean, back in 1973, this was really shocking stuff, this sort of documentary following this family around. By 1992, though, I remember when I was in high school, The Real World debuted. 7 strangers living together in a house they probably couldn't afford on their own, New York and then San Francisco, and it really explored some pretty controversial topics. These were real people, their real lives, maybe scripted a little, or maybe just things added for effect, but we experienced watching someone find out he had AIDS, some people with psychological problems, abortion. A lot of very controversial topics were explored, but it wasn't fiction. So as we watched this, we realized these were real people with real consequences in their lives. Fast forward to 2000, Survivor, the runaway hit, Mark Burnett, reality show genius. He then went on to do shows like The Apprentice and The Contender. Big Brother was another one that kind of came along during that time. So we got into the competition, so people tuning in so that they could root for their team or follow the games that were going on. Fast forward to 2010. I saw 2 different reports. One said by 2010 we'd gone from 4 shows in 2000 to 320 reality shows. I saw another report where that number was actually 560. So I guess we go and depends what we classify as reality. I mean, American Idol in some ways is a reality show. The Bachelor, Bachelorette, all of these sort of contestant type of shows. 90% of these reality shows, though, in both cases, were reported to be on cable. By 2011, reality shows, according to Nielsen, had taken over sitcoms. Sports and drama still pulling in a majority of audiences on television, but for that $72 billion advertising amount that is spent each year on television advertising, now by 2011 we were seeing 15.5% of the shows that got those ad dollars were actually reality TV shows. But why reality TV? Why should we care as marketers? Well, Andy Denhart, he is a writer for a blog called Reality Blurred. He's been featured in the New York Times, on NPR. He's also a professor of journalism at Stetson University. He gave a TED Talk about reality show. I recommend it, so you can find it on YouTube. Just do a little Google search or YouTube search. But he points out in his talk, this is a huge genre, right, with massive range. We find shows now about real estate. Everyone probably heard the rumor about the yacht broker show that was being rumored. They're finding every possible exciting niche profession that they can explore. The audiences, it's like a soap opera. People tuning in every week to follow the lives of, again, real people, real lives, real consequences. So people are really becoming affected by this. I mean, the numbers don't lie, right? So you talk to people, and they may say, oh, reality shows, it's the lowest form of entertainment, it's trash. But I know a lot of people that are closet watchers of reality shows. When Adrienne came to visit me in Indianapolis, I couldn't believe walking down the street the kind of people that were stopping us along the way saying, aren't you the girl from that show? And I'd look at the person and think, they watch Below Deck? They watch Bravo? You'd be surprised. But Andy points out in his talk, reality TV, it has a different contract with the audience, right? It allows for a connection because we can identify ourselves with the people on the shows. He says, reality television reveals a lot about humanity. It is at once a window and yet also a mirror showing how real people react and interact in extraordinary situations. It also allows us to consider how we'd respond. A lot of people tune in so that they could just watch how someone else might cope with the situation so that they can then sit back and say, well, I would have done it better than that. Adrienne, I would have kicked Sam off the boat. But why as a marketing vehicle, right? Small niche audiences, right? Very targeted, defined audiences of various interests and topics. It's one of the easiest forms of entertainment to connect with, what I was just talking about. We relate to different characters. We put ourselves in their shoes. I used this graphic here because it's a guy watching himself. We're putting ourselves into what we're watching and asking ourselves what we would do in that situation. Because of that, we are relating ourselves more to what's going on. Therefore, another thing, the stars are more approachable. Adrienne and I met on Twitter right after the show was announced. I tweeted, congratulations, can't wait to see the show. She tweeted back, oh my gosh, I've read your book. We had it on board during filming. Next thing you know, we're 3 hours on the phone talking, and we formed a very close friendship. And since then, she's gone on a book tour with me in Indianapolis. We were on local television. We got featured in the Indianapolis Star. And I've gone to all of the debuts of the showings of the show. And on social media, I've attracted a lot of attention by associating myself with the show. Were the writers in the boating industry thinking, maybe Captain Lee would be a good person to interview? I bet there's people out there watching this show that want to know more about the captain. They want to hear from the captain. They want to hear about the actual driving of the boat. They want to talk boats. Those are the people you want to be connecting with. Use social media. Because people get themselves involved in these soap operas, they take to social media to talk about reality shows more than they do dramas and fictional scripted television. So therefore, product placement, what a perfect opportunity, right? I have a sorority sister from college, Dana Kessler, I think her last name's Weiss now. She runs a blog called Possessionista. What she does is she watches like the Bachelorette, Bachelor shows, watches what the girls are wearing, and immediately that night goes online, finds out where you can find those exact outfits or things that look like that. So if it's a cute, little black dress, she'll go find one that looks just like that. Puts all the links up on her site. They all have, she can make money because they're affiliate links. She's making tons of money just by telling girls where they can buy the outfits that they see on reality TV. But people go looking for that because when they see it, they know it's a real person. When they're watching, 90210 CSI, they're not thinking, oh, I want what she's wearing. I mean, they're involved in the scripted drama. They're not putting themselves in that position. So sponsorships, product placements, more sophisticated forms of audience participation with reality TV. When you think about it, they do repeat airings. They did marathon Saturdays of Below Deck because they want to get people involved in the soap opera. So if you missed it Monday night, don't worry. It's on 3 hours later. It's on the next day. And then by Saturday, they're not only running that episode, but they're running the 3 before it for anyone that missed those 3. Hence, that viewership grew every week because people were getting pulled into the story. Also, digital episodes, digital extras. Let's talk about some of these things. Well, but let's also talk about it before we do with some of the other shows that Michael mentioned. No, it's not just Below Deck. Deadliest Catch, we're probably all familiar with since it's been around since 2005. They're filming season 10 right now. Wicked Tuna, that's we got the Alaska crab fishermen in the Bering Sea with Deadliest Catch. Well, the East Coast version, Wicked Tuna, they're following bluefin tuna fishermen in Massachusetts for the National Geographic Channel. This is also, they're all getting in the game now. We've got Discovery Channel, National Geographic, and then the History Channel. These are high quality demographics, good target audiences for marine and boating related products and services. So with Wicked Tuna, shocking, they set a record for the National Geographic Channel of 1.2 million viewers over the summer. They're filming, I think they just got done filming season 3. It's going to air in 2014. But now it's gone international. They said that one of the fishermen on the show just got back from promoting the show in Croatia. He's over there right now promoting season 1 or season 2 that's being shown over there. So now season 1 has been able to reach 440 million homes in 171 countries, 38 languages. Swamp People. This is Cajuns hunting alligators on the History Channel. They just wrapped their 4th season. Season 5 is coming out in 2014. Back on July 19th of this summer, they tied with Pawn Stars. Yes, there's a reality show about pawn shops. Actually, there's several. But it became the top cable program on Thursday nights, tying with Pawn Stars, 3.9 million viewers. A lot of boats on that show. In fact, when I was out there searching for information, I found a lot of the boating forums people are talking about. Here are some of the shows. Bering Sea Gold, it's also in Nome, Alaska, just like Deadliest Catch, by the same guys that did Deadliest Catch. But I don't know if I think they're going to be doing a 3rd season, but I know have done 2 seasons. This is also known as Gold Divers overseas right now. They're showing it over in the UK. But the other 3 down here below, Swords, Life on the Line, that was a Discovery show. See, all this has come because Deadliest Catch was so popular. Big Shrimpin' was another one on History Channel. It only lasted 1 season and was canceled. Some say the reason Swords, though, Swords on the Line was canceled. This was New England fishing boats fishing for swordfish. I guess Pew got involved, and I guess it was controversial. So maybe that's one of the reasons it got canceled. But it wasn't really because of lack of interest. And people are really talking it up online. Shipwreck Men only lasted 4 episodes. That was, I guess, filmed right down here in South Florida. Did anyone catch any of that with these guys? Yeah. But even though canceled, my point here is I'm sure there are more to come. In fact, I've already talked to one person. If anybody wants to know about a sailing reality show that's being planned right now, someone contacted me when they saw I would be speaking here about a sailing reality show that they just got done filming a sizzle reel for. And I'm sure with the success of Below Deck, there are many, many more to come. So we're going to talk about advertising opportunities, fighting for those ad dollars. For anyone that would be interested, and this is using Below Deck as an example, but I guarantee you if you contact the History Channel, National Geographic, Discovery, or any of the other channels that are showing some of these marine-related shows, you'll find similar opportunities. Linda was a sales rep that I talked to at Bravo. Right now they're getting ready to film in January, but once they've got the show ready, contacting about season-long sponsorships where you get multiple airing per episode, billboards, tag tune-ins. They've got 1-week custom vignette sponsorships, marathon sponsorships, so like on those Saturday afternoons where they show back-to-back Below Deck episodes. Pricing, okay, we're looking at about $41,000 for premiere airing, prime time re-air, about $12,000. They also have what they call 360-degree programs, which is all kinds of both on-air as well as digital, maybe even product placement. But here's something I want everyone to think about. 51 Minds is the name of the production company. They're the ones that shot Below Deck Season 1, and they're going to be doing Season 2. Contact them now. Talk to them. Find out, hey, do you guys need a tender boat that we can hook you up with from such and such manufacturer? They need products and ideas, right? Maybe you've got an idea of how to utilize your product and insert it into the show. This is time to put those creative hats on, right? And think about things that you can pitch to the production company. Bravo might get involved. There is a possibility that they may step in and say, whoa, wait a minute, you got to pay for that. But you never know. So 51 Minds, that's their website. You can find all the information. They're on Twitter. They're everywhere. Just give it a shot. Here's another looking at digital ad buys. Another opportunity. Yes, those on-air buys are pretty expensive, but let's consider something. A lot of these shows, the episodes, full episodes, are aired on BravoTV.com. You can do video ad spots on the long-form episodes. You can do video ad spots on these little short pieces of content, short-form episode clips that they've got up there. Here was one where CJ, I guess you'd call him an engineer, was giving a tour of the yacht. And you can do bonus content, behind-the-scenes content. Here's some examples here. As you see, I guess I don't have a pointer, but they have on the website these extras, after show, exclusives, full episode, house tours, last chance kitchen was something I think they did with Chef Ben, must-see moments, previews, tips. So they've got all these different categories. This is, again, put on the creative thinking cap. What are some creative ideas that you can come up with about how you can insert your products, services, or your clients' products into some of these shows? Well, here's an example. I asked Adrienne last night, I'm like, so Hope in a Jar, that's a philosophy skincare product. I was like, did you really have that in your bag, or was that a paid opportunity? Apparently you didn't, or you did have that in your bag. They didn't say, okay, we're going to pretend this was in your bag. But that's something to think about, Maybe you suggest to Bravo, hey, next time we're going to load her up with a bunch of these people that are selling these sun lotion type products, and can we buy some product placement on the website for a photo exclusive? Thinking cap, put it on. And with these other shows, with Wicked Tuna, with the Gold or the Swamp People, how can you get involved not only in product placement on the show, but maybe even on their website? Of course, display ads, those are going to be pretty pricey, but Bravo does sell those. You see the arrows, different ads on the website. And then there's gamification. And here's another area that I think we can get really creative with. And maybe you can tap into the writers. Writers are the real creative people, right? So coming up with really good concepts on Bravo, you can have them do a virtual treasure hunt sweepstakes where they do on-air call-outs, and then you get people, the idea of gamification now is really hot in digital media. It's challenging people to engage more and interact with your website or your brand, get people involved in challenging one another, building teams. It's the whole fantasy football idea. Because people are all online and hanging out together now in forums and talking, it's like, let's put together a team and they had one with Top Chef where you could put together a group of chef friends, chef testants they called it, and then online you go and you win points and you can redeem them for different products or services. But I would say think about this. There's also hashtag-driven contests on Twitter. Andy Cohen is the host of Watch What Happens Live. It's a show on Bravo that comes on late at night where they usually invite members of the different show on Bravo on, and they have little contests every night. Maybe that's something in season 2 when they bring the captain of the boat and some of the crew members on. Maybe you say, hey, we'll give away jet skis, whatever your products are or whoever your client is, for a contest on Watch What Happens Live. But I also say think about gamification on your own site, right? Like even polls and quizzes are really fun things. So, hey, which character are you more like on Wicked Tuna? And you get with your writers and have really creative content concepts where you have people answer a bunch of questions and then it feeds back and tells them which character they're more similar to on such and such team on Wicked Tuna. But that you can gamify on your own website. Or you can have Bravo help you come up with a creative idea. But then there's other forms. What do I have on time? How many minutes? 20 minutes. Oh, perfect! Okay, good. Wow, I'm talking fast. Breath, okay. That was a lot to get through. But here's where I really want to talk about other forms of advertising, right? So without those big budgets, what can we afford to do if we can't afford to throw $41,000 for a commercial on broadcast cable, or in somewhere in the six-figure range to do a whole integrated website product placement, gamification deal with Bravo? Well, we're going to go outside of BravoTV.com, and let's think about something. According to Business Insider Intelligence Report, this is a report, they call it Second Screen. And I don't know if any of you are like this, but I know at night when I come home, pardon me, I got to do eye drops here real quick, I apologize. When I come home at night and I'm watching TV, I've got my laptop up in front of me. I got my phone next to me. Now, granted, I work in digital media, and I'm a workaholic, so I'm really never away from my computer. And I'm a single woman with no kids and no pets, so I'm just kind of a loser. And I sit at home, and I have to admit, I watch those ridiculous housewife shows. And really, I do it because I'm working, and it's just, I'm not going to focus on that. Like, if I'm watching Anthony Bourdain, I'll turn everything else off and just focus on Anthony. It's he and I at the dinner table. But when I'm working, I just need noise in the background. So I put on those ridiculous housewife shows. But when I do, sometimes I'll look up and I'll hear something going on and I'll think, did she really say that? I can't be the only one shocked that she said that. So I'll go over to Twitter and I'll look, and people are on there and they're people are going nuts over the thing this woman said. And then you start following it. Next thing you know, you're down the rabbit hole and you're getting sent over. Well, the good marketers are out there jumping into these conversations. They're watching the show along with their target audience and they're saying, oh, did you just see that jet ski that they had on BelowDeck? I'm going to go on there and start talking about how I want to get that same jet ski. Well, if you're the marketer of said jet ski or of any kind of water toy, who are the guys that do the water slides off the mega yachts now, that's when they want to be out there and showing people what they've got that will fall in line with that conversation. Use the hashtags of the show so that you show up in the streams, in the conversations. And I hate when people then say to me, yeah, well, our target audience isn't on Twitter. You'd be surprised. And I can tell you from working in digital media, CEOs, CMOs, some of the big executives at a lot of these companies, they have to be on Twitter now. They have to be the face of the company. Now, okay, are they always the one that's on there sending out the tweets, checking the tweets? Again, I think you'd be surprised. But yes, 77% of TV viewers use another device at the same time as watching television. 81% they say have their smartphone with them. Now that's probably obvious, right, because we're getting text messages. But also their laptop. A lot of people, and we all, those of us on Facebook know, people start talking about what's going on television during the awards shows, during the political debates. Also, laptop and smartphone, laptop, television. Okay, so it's just showing you multiple devices. And here's somebody down here who says, I'm sometimes shopping, sometimes looking for recipes, sometimes typing them up, sending emails, reading. We're multitasking. And in fact, in this same report, second screen activities are often related to what's on TV, particularly when people have their iPad in front of them. And who else was out there during BelowDeck watching the Twitter streams? Was I the only one? I know you were. Yeah. I saw people tweet things like, this makes me want to buy a yacht. This makes me want to go on vacation. I used to sell advertising in the in-flight media space for a travel club. A lot of my advertisers were the Caribbean Tourism Board, so I had like Aruba Tourism, St. Martin Tourism. I wanted to call those guys up and be like, why aren't you guys advertising? You know, they do the, come to St. Martin. That's what a lot of people were talking about. But yes, they were seeing these real people doing things. So it wasn't just, oh, I want to go work on a yacht. But of course, I was tuning into those conversations. But it was pretty amazing what I saw going by. And I would say that some of them, judging by a lot of things I saw going on their page, weren't necessarily people who couldn't afford to buy a boat. Maybe not a mega yacht, but you never know. A lot of celebrities watch Bravo TV. Yeah, they do say it is the #1 most engaged, not most engaged, most, what was the word I looked for? It is the most affluent. They say the most affluent demographic, Bravo TV. But people that are looking up information about the actors, so many inbound search terms to my website, people looking up information about Adrienne, Kat, and Sam, and I had blog posts about them. Inbound, everyone coming in. Another big search term, though, for me, I had a blog post about Honor the Yacht and how it was quarterly owned and how I saw it when it was launched and christened over in Via Reggio as Lionheart. So many people coming in with the search term charter, honor, yacht, charter, mega yacht, charter, Bravo yacht, coming into my website. People, yes, though, they're visiting social networking sites. They're surfing the web to find out more information about what they're watching. They want to know, do these crew members still exist? Where are these people now? There's ways to tap into that, but you've got to get creative with the information. So here are some digital ad spends. If you want to spend money, YouTube ads, those are the pre-roll ads. If you have a little short 30-second video clip, a lot of these clips that go up on BravoTV.com get stolen by people and then put up on YouTube. And there are ways to go and target those videos specifically with managed placements through Google AdWords for Video, which is YouTube, to run skippable 30-second ads in front of those clips. And that goes true for any video on YouTube, though. So think about this outside of reality TV. You know how many boating-related videos there are that you could be running a 30-second skippable ad video in front of. And you don't pay, and if they don't watch, if it's 30 seconds, you don't pay unless they watch 30 seconds. If it's over 30 seconds. If it's under, you pay when they watch the whole thing. But if they skip it, you don't pay. Facebook ads. You can target the fans of these pages. BelowDeck has its own Facebook page, 24,000 fans. Wicked Tuna has 107,000 fans. Right now, when you go in to set up display ads on Facebook, not just the things that show up on the right, but in the feed, in the home feed, where you can hashtag it with the show and show up as people are discussing the show live on Facebook. Twitter ads you can now do. Promoted tweets, 6-second Vine video versions of your ads. Twitter cards that contain special offers and coupons. These are all available to you now when you go through the account reps at Twitter. Pinterest ads. Does anyone use Pinterest for their business? I know a couple yacht brokers out there that just do an incredible job with putting great photos up there. Pinterest ads are coming. They're in beta right now. I just talked to an ad agency yesterday that just got approved to run the beta. But here's an example of an ad that I ran. Yacht jobs, below deck. So it was coming from the Insider's Guide to Becoming a Yacht Stewardess, my Facebook page. Travel the globe, working below deck on a luxury yacht. Find out what the life is like. I targeted that to 4,800 people living in the United States between the ages of 19 and 31 who like below deck. See that there? Precise interests, precise topics, and you can even target fan pages that already exist. I also went for people who were single or in a relationship. I think eventually I got rid of the relationship. I figured if they're going to go become a yacht stewardess, then they're probably not engaged or have a boyfriend. But you can choose so many different. Does anyone run Facebook ads? Unbelievable right now, the opportunity, so much better. I mean, I was a PPC SEO girl for years, and unbelievable the profit potential. Like acquisition for your page, you can do direct response ads, you can run promoted posts, sponsored stories. That's an example down there below of a way that it'll show up. My friend, this was an ad that I saw sponsored, but a friend of mine likes this photo. They're going on this influencer idea, right? We're all connected online. We see what people are doing. There's the Below Deck page, 24,000 fans that you can target though I do have the Wicked Tuna, 107,000 people. You can go up and set an ad targeting people who, not only that, what about publications? I can target people that like the Doc Walk page. You better believe I'm doing it. And I can target them based on countries. So I can do people that like the Doc Walk page in Australia, and then I can do another one for South Africa. I can even run the ad so that it's showing up when the show is on in the different time zones. Smart, because you want to be there when they're watching it and when they're thinking about it. What's the time now?
1:15. You got 15.
Oh my gosh, I'm doing really good. So here's another thing with Facebook, and this is an example. I had a client over the summer, the Classic Rock Society of America. For those classic rock fans out there, I highly recommend the page. They've got access to unbelievable content with classic rock images and concerts, and they're going to have interviews, all kinds of great stuff. But anyway, I was helping them grow their page. Here was an example of something that I took because I was doing an example for them. But here was somebody who they showed not only, this is, when you're, everyone on Facebook, who's not on Facebook? Yeah, I was going to say, Michael. My 76-year-old father's on Facebook, come on. But this is when you're looking at your feed, and all of a sudden you see this down there, it's a sponsored post, right? Well, you can, look how, I say inbound, outbound. Outbound is usually when you're pushing things at people, so it's paid. This, to me, almost looks, it's contextual. It sort of looks organic when it just kind of shows up there. Yeah, the sponsored thing indicates that it's paid, but it's also telling you, hey, here's a post we want you to see. You can run offers in the newsfeed, direct response offers, and target them to people that are watching these shows or talking about these shows. This is an example of what I meant by the YouTube pre-roll ads. For those of you, they're funny. I was speaking at Chris Craft dealers meeting last summer, and I looked up Voting Magazine, and this was this behind-the-scenes Voting Magazine 2012. Well, this Mitt Romney, why would Mitt Romney invest millions in the Cayman Islands, was an ad that came up right before. So they were choosing to advertise. Mitt Romney campaign, I guess, was, or I don't know, against Mitt Romney, or I don't know. I never watched the ad. I just took the screenshot. But see down there where it says you can skip this in 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We've all probably seen that now. You can skip these ads, and again, people don't pay until the advertiser's not charged until the video reaches 30 seconds. But you can gain thousands of impressions from a targeted audience of people that are looking up BelowDeck or Wicked Tuna or super yachts or buy a yacht or how to clean a yacht or Yamaha or jet ski, or you can target these based on topics of the video, of interests of the user. So with Classic Rock Society, I was able to go and tell YouTube to show our 30-second spot for the Yestival. We were running ads to tell people to go to the Yes Festival this summer in Camden, New Jersey. So geographically, we were able to show our ad within 50-mile radius of Camden, New Jersey to anyone who was either watching classic rock videos or had a history on YouTube of watching classic rock videos. Or we could go to a specific video and say, show our ad in front of that Yes video. So imagine what you can do with that. It's all done through Google AdWords for video. You can find somebody maybe who knows Google AdWords, pay-per-click, and say, hey, could you help us out with this? Make a 30-second video ad. We've got Suki Finnerty right here, digital video. Make a 30-second ad, call to action at the end. Go out and target clips like these. This was that same, remember this? We saw it on BravoTV.com. This is that tour that CJ, the engineer, gave of honor. 8,300 video views on YouTube. Somebody hijacked this and put it up there, but people are watching it. They don't care who put it up there. They're watching it. All right, so I want to kind of end on this concept of content marketing, and this is, again, is kind of where the writers come into play. When I talk about outbound and inbound marketing, outbound is sort of that push, right? It's interruption marketing. Brian Halligan, he's the CEO of HubSpot. He says it's any time you have to buy, beg, or bug your way in, right? You're interrupting what's going on. So it's calling someone, telemarketing, direct mail, you're pushing it out, you're putting it in their mailbox, email blasts, not always asked for. A lot of times you just shove it on people. You get their email and here, push, push, push. Trade shows, the boat shows. You're coming here, you're spending money, you're pushing your message at people. Print ads, catalogs, television ads, radio ads. And I say, because it always gets weird, the agency I worked for was originally a media relations agency. Now they're a digital media marketing agency. But when I started there, they were just PR. And so I was always struggling to figure out, okay, what is, well, I figure when you're pitching media, when you're pitching a story, you're pushing. Now, if they run the story, then you go over here to media coverage. Then you're earning. You're pulling people in. The story runs. You get somebody saying that your company's the best at doing something. You get the journalist writing about you. That's more of a pull inbound technique. SEO pulls people in. I search boat. You come up. I am attracted to your listing. You're pulling people in. Blogging and content marketing is the content that you're putting out there to be found as people are out there searching. They want to know, how much does it cost to charter the Motor Yacht Honor? What's Adrienne Gang doing now? Where do I find the jet ski that was shown on BelowDeck? Where do I, how does the GPS, or I don't know, think about your different, I'm trying to think of maybe who might be out here and what products and services, but you guys know who you're marketing to. So think about what they might be searching and have content that's waiting there, and creative content, not just articles and blog posts anymore. There's so much visual content now. That's why Pinterest has taken off. Infographics. People love infographics. I think it was the CMO, somebody recently from Coca-Cola spoke at an event. A friend of mine was telling me about it. He said, God, it was brilliant. She called content marketing. She said, content online anymore, I consider it like currency. It's got value. And what people love to do is find a really valuable piece of content, and they like to share it. They want to be the one that posts it on Facebook and says, look. And they want their friends to go, oh, wow, it's currency. You're passing it along, you're sharing it, you're spreading the wealth. So you want to create valuable content, and to do that, you want to figure out what, let's say on these reality shows, are people searching. And it might be a long tail search. It might not be that we can get in front of everyone that's searching boat, charter yacht, but we might be able to, people want to know, well, how much does it cost to charter a yacht? How much does it cost to charter that yacht? Those are questions people are asking themselves as they themselves maybe stumble across the fact that, oh, wow, we can actually get 5 couples together and charter a sailing boat down in the Caribbean. But you need to be there giving them those answers. Have an infographic that shows the various ranges of prices for chartering different sized vessels. Something that people can easily look at and get a lot of valuable information. Inbound is also social media, because we're out there having conversations. People are stumbling across our forum posts. They're stumbling across our tweets. They're looking at hashtags and following streams of conversations. I say social media ads, yes, you're pushing that out, but because they're so contextual anymore, because you can show up in feeds, because you can show up, even your display ads are showing up on the side based on what people are talking about while they're on Facebook. Facebook is reading what we're talking about. We all seen it happen. You start talking about Friday the 13th on your friend's wall, next thing you know, you're seeing an ad for the DVD set for Friday the 13th that pops up, right? Or my favorite is now when you go over to Nordstrom and you put some jeans into a cart and then you end up abandoning it and not buying it. Next thing you know, you're seeing those same jeans show up on the right-hand side. That's all easy to do. You can do that. That's all done with cookies and things put on your website. In fact, now with Facebook, you can even upload your email list. Have Facebook go out into Facebook, find all the people that you have an email for, and then they put them in a list, and you can target your ads to those people. And then my favorite is you can clone that list. So you can say to Facebook, okay, look at all the attributes of all the people of my, I took the list of everyone that bought my book back in 2006, so I had like 1,000 people that I'd gathered over the last 7 years. I had their email addresses. So I uploaded those to Facebook. Sorry, my eye's going out on me. Doesn't blink. So it goes out, and then it goes and it finds the attributes of those people. Well, they're from this age to this age. They're located in these parts of the country. They have these interests. This is what they like. And then Facebook uses its algorithm to go and clone those people. So you can make what I call a doppelganger list and run your ads at people who are cloned to be like the people who you already have contact information for. This is amazing. We do it with the Classic Rock Society. Gosh, we did it with the DJs for classic rock stations around the country. I mean, it's phenomenal, the results that you can get. So I call that more inbound. So what the whole idea then to do anymore is to integrate these two. Push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. You know, you've got an email blast, it goes out. Always be sure you're telling people where to find you on social media. Always be sending in your email blast good articles that you have good quality currency that you send to people, links to an infographic that's hosted on your website that makes someone go, oh, that's awesome. And then they go and they post it on Facebook. And then that gets shared by someone else. And then next thing you know, new people are coming to your website. You're getting their email address. You come to a trade show. You're here at the boat show. You're on Twitter. You're hashtagging things so that people can come to your booth. You run a contest. Come to our booth and we're going to be giving away such and such. And then people get extra points. You gamify it. You know, if you retweet this 5 times, you'll be entered to win this set of fishing poles. So you're constantly weaving this in and out, in and out. But that good quality content is so important anymore. So tapping into your creative writers, your journalists out there, and I would say anymore, as a writer, you almost have to take it a step beyond. You know, what can you do when you have a really good quality story to add more of another dimension to it? Can you just, you know, go and talk to a graphic designer or somebody who can help you put a visual to that? Because anymore people get attracted. They don't want to just come to a blog post and see a bunch of words. They want pictures. I mean, if you look and see like BuzzFeed and a lot of those sites that are getting a lot of attention, if you're writing for a publication, you pitch them a story. Say, not only will I write you the story, but I'll get you 10 high-res images to go with it that you can put in a slide share show so that each time someone hits, it reloads the page. Publications now make money because ads, display ads show up, so the more page views, the more money. So if I was a publisher, I would say, wow, I want the writers who are giving me content that allows, that people want to share and that brings people in and then gets them watching a lot of different pages on the site and staying on the site for a long time. The longer people stay on the site, Google says, oh, that must be a good site. The better that site starts doing in the search engine. So it's all kind of coming together. All these years of you know, we just used to have silos of information on our websites. You know, now our websites are interactive, our content's interactive, and it's shareable, and we are the media, we as people. And we're sharing our thoughts about reality shows, we're sharing information about reality shows, we're looking up more information about reality shows. So keep an eye on what the content that's out there, that's on, you know, people are still watching television these days. They may have another device sitting on their lap or in front of them, but they're still watching it. So how can you tap into those audiences and not only find them while they're watching those shows by being on the show or somehow product placement, but how can you tap into them when they're out talking about it and researching it and talking to their friends about it? So insert yourself into those conversations. And that's it.